Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It seems like the European Union would like to diffuse the situation between, the escalation of verbal escalation between Russia and Lithuania concerning Kaliningrad. Now, if you're familiar with the issue, Lithuania imposed some sanctions, some transit sanctions on its territory for Russian products that would go from Russia across Lithuania going towards Kaliningrad, their enclave, because Lithuania is such a law-abiding country, and they said that European Union imposed sanctions on those goods, and since they belong to, they're members of the European Union, they will follow that like they follow the scriptures. So they said, well, we are 2.5 million people, and we will not allow the 145 million people to send products to their, 500,000 people who live in Kaliningrad or so. So Russia said that they will harm Lithuania, and the Lithuanian people will suffer. Now, obviously, this escalates. I don't know what exactly Russia has in mind, but we have here an article where it seems like United Nations, European Union intervenes to defuse the situation. This article comes from Bloomberg from June 27, 2022. This is the title. European Union may be trying to defuse Kaliningrad standoff with eased rules. Okay, yeah, so they try to ease their rules in order to defuse the Kaliningrad issue. Some European countries are raising concerns that the European Union is trying to pressure Lithuania into watering down the bloc's sanctions to allow some banned goods to transit through its territory to Russia's bloc enclave Kaliningrad, according to people familiar with the matter. The worries came as the standoff over Kaliningrad escalates, with Lithuanian government institutions reporting a fresh wave of intense cyber attacks. Russia has said it will retaliate against the EU member state for blocking rail transport of goods such as steel in accordance with the bloc's sanction measures. While the European Commission said last week Lithuania was imposing the sanctions in line with the way sanctions were rolled out, it said it would provide additional guidance on the issue. The officials' concern were that Lithuania could effectively be asked to offer exemptions for banned Russian goods bound for Kaliningrad, according to one official who spoke on the condition of anonymity. Snitch. Anyway, while many member states in the bloc were eager to defuse the standoff, several others bridled at the prospect of diluting sanctions. Let me guess, it must be somewhere over there, Poland. The prospect of diluting sanctions in response to Russia's threats, the official said. Lithuanian Prime Minister Ingrida Šimonytė said Monday that discussions with the Commission were ongoing, while the country's president Gitanas Nausėda warned over the weekend that weakening sanctions would amount to appeasement. Well, so then, if the European Union is going to ease that, you're going to follow the orders, right? Isn't that how it goes? Because right now you hide behind those sanctions. Well, if the sanctions will be eased by Brussels, what's your problem? You said that's the only problem, that we have to follow what Brussels said. What if Brussels said, okay, now you're going to leave them a little bit, take it easy. Why are you so concerned now? So it's something else. It's not that the Brussels sanctions, if actually you don't want to, which is fine, that's your country, but then that's another country, and you're going to go one-on-one. Our position is simple. Sanction must be implemented, Šimonytė told reporters in Vilnius on Monday. Any decision taken shouldn't compromise the European Union itself, really. Like the European Union is not compromised with picking and choosing whatever they sanction from Russia and for how long. Remember gas and oil? They sanction here and there whenever. Why? Because Germany is really hurt. Shoot itself in the foot. So don't tell me about compromising European Union. It's being compromised because they pick and choose what the sanctions and what products, according to the big shots, not you. Lithuania has accused the Kremlin of waging a propaganda campaign over the issue, saying that the restrictions tied to EU measures involve only a small portion of trade. Maybe. The pressure will likely intensify as the EU ban on coal, gasoline and diesel shipments from Russia take effect in coming months, not now. So they're already compromised, Lithuania. Sorry. Well, it says here that the Defense Ministry of Lithuania said that the government institutions and businesses had come under intense so-called distributed denial of services attack. Such attacks attempt to overload systems by flooding the target with superfluous requesting from multiple sources. Requests from multiple sources. How do you know they're Russians? But we just assume, right? The cyber assault is likely to continue over the coming days, particularly in the communication, energy, and finance sectors, the ministry said. All right, so Defense Minister of Lithuania said he didn't rule out that the increase may be related to the standoff over Kaliningrad. That's a big probability. Kaliningrad's geographic position between Lithuania and Poland leaves its population cut off from Russia's main territory, though shipments still arrive by air or sea. Transit of people and known sanctions goods remains unaffected by the restrictions. Yeah, I think, well, it's like this. Lithuania yelled, barked, however you want, at Russia a lot. Russia probably is already at the verge of, I'm waiting one more time and I want to slap these guys. So now when obviously Lithuania does what the European Union, and they are part of the European Union, they voted for these sanctions. They had to. Otherwise, sanctions would not have been implemented. There has to be unanimity to impose sanctions on a country by the whole European Union. So they agreed with these things. So it's not like you can blame them when you agreed with them. So it's EU too. I mean, how do you take it? So after all this, obviously Lithuania now got a little bit Russia sensitized, whatever. It's a little bit angry. Let's put it mildly. So he's waiting for some reason to, slap Lithuania around. He's not going to slap it militarily, I don't think so. But he's going to do other little, punch here, punch there, pinch there, poke there. We're going to do these kind of things. Well, what do you want? I mean, Lithuania, you asked for it. You are a very, very small country, very small and weak country. But the problem is that you think you have big friends that will somehow defend you when Russia will come and squash you like this. And that will not happen. It's going to be too late for you. Remember, Lithuania is a small country. It doesn't need too many things to be dropped on it. So they're kind of playing with fire, but nevertheless, it doesn't mean that Lithuania does not have the right to have its own independent foreign policy by all means. But imagine that you are in a neighborhood. And in a neighborhood, you got a bigger guy over there, a bigger guy over there, and you're smallest. Keep your mouth shut. Well, if you keep your mouth a little bit, you open your mouth too much, you might be hurt. And you expect then the big guys to fight for you? I mean, that's ridiculous. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.